I want to win. And I'll be so presidential, you won't believe it. I will be the most boring.
What does that mean to be presidential?
Well, it means maybe not be so aggressive, maybe not get so personal. But when people get personal with me, I mean, they say, oh, they don't like my hair, okay? Now, if I ever said I didn't like their hair, it would be a headline. He's so, but they're allowed to say whatever they want about me. Look, we started out with people hitting, and my hair's not that bad, is it? Does my hair, it's not that bad. I mean.
Let's not talk about hair, okay? Let's begin with those people who are so dedicated to a cause there is no conceivable way they can lose. Those who seem destined to break the rules, shatter the ceiling, and prove there is a new way to do things. Critics and pollsters be damned. Donald Trump is convinced he is that individual. Those who support him without reservation, or sometimes logic, believe the same. They have followed their choice for president from the very first moment, casting aside what he says and what happens around him, convinced it means nothing to his eventual ascension as leader of the free world. Months ago, every number told them this was possible. They believed it. Now those numbers say Republicans are going to make a very difficult choice, and those supporters refuse to believe those numbers. We could be heading for a crash of politically biblical proportions. This is where we begin the Monday edition of the Political Animal. Fear to tread and they will chew you up and spit you out whole. Beginning with the former Deputy Assistant to Vice President Dick Cheney, contributor at the Daily Beast and CEO of Christie Strategies, LLC, Ron Christie. Perfectly balanced, the former Democratic senatorial aide and now contributor at The Hill. It is so difficult to get a real opinion out of him from time to time. Brent Budowsky. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Ron, good to see you again. Let's go ahead and begin with you. Look, let's be very honest here. Donald Trump is still the leading candidate. His people believe that he cannot be beat. But when you look at some of the numbers in the head-to-head polls, people are calling this. All right, let's get to it. We got a race with a bunch of stuff to cover here. Let's see who handles the heat. In our case, the spokesman for this side of the political aisle. I have no fear whatsoever what will come out of his mouth here. Part two of the Political Animal welcomes back Democratic hammer Brent Budowsky from The Hill, Republican hitter Ron Christie from the Daily Beast. Brent Budowsky, here it is to you right now. Will you tell us, look America in the face right now, and let's just go ahead and look at the left. Makes no difference if it is Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, the entire Democratic Party will get behind that candidate. They'll back him, and even it's that socialist Bernie Sanders. Damn it, he's our man. We're going to be there for him. Yes or no?
Yes. I think you're going to have, first of all, Hillary and Bernie are not nearly as far apart as the heat of a campaign suggests. And the fact that Bernie calls himself a socialist, he really isn't. But I think there'll be about 10% of the Bernie people that will have to be sold on Hillary. Not all of them will go along, but most of them overwhelmingly will. By contrast, if Donald Trump is nominated, I wouldn't even be shocked if my friend Ron Christie endorses Hillary. But a lot of Republicans.
Hold on. Whoa, okay, Brent, I don't know. Whoa, I didn't know that what was going on in Colorado had reached D.C.
Is Ron okay?
Ron's okay. Fine. I'm not okay. Ron, just go ahead and comment on that. Would you do that?
Never. But I have such admiration and respect for Brent, so I'll play along here. But he really speaking to something that worries me. Donald Trump, if he's our nominee, I've talked to a lot of people from around the country. I travel a lot, and a lot of people have said, you know what, Ron, we don't like Secretary of State Clinton, but you know what, we'd feel more comfortable with her as the President of the United States than Donald Trump. So, Brent, there's a little method to his madness, because I think there are a lot of moderate Republicans out there that would switch over and consider voting for her if Donald Trump's the nominee, for all the reasons we spoke about in the last segment. High unpopularity across the board. The millennials have now overtaken the greatest generation by way of population in the United States, and they don't like him. I don't see how he starts adding up delegates in the general election, where Senator Clinton, of course, while not popular, I think it's still best him.
Okay, a couple of minutes we got left here. Two sound bites that I want us to get to. First of all, Donald Trump calling for Governor Kasich to drop out of the race. He says that Governor Kasich is the one that is costing him votes. And the governor replied today in New York, and boy, was he defiant. Here's what he said.
Donald Trump said that I need to get out of the race because I'm getting his voters. Well, I've got news for him. I'm going to get a heck of a lot of his voters. Think about what this guy said. He said he needs to get out because he's getting my votes. And I want to have my votes. This is not fair. I thought we got out of the sandbox years ago.
Oh, man. Hey, Brent, I come to you first on this one. Is he right? I mean, is Donald Trump right, though, that John Kasich will take votes from him?
Oh, I haven't got the slightest idea. I'll tell you this, though.
Oh, come on, you have an idea. That's why I threw it at you.
Kasich would be a formidable general election candidate, and he is running significantly ahead of Hillary in the polls. And you know, I mean, if I were a Republican, they don't take my advice very often. I cannot imagine nominating Ted Cruz or Donald Trump ahead of John Kasich, who I consider a very serious and credible and plausible president. So, yeah, but I'm telling you, remember where you heard it. Donald Trump will implode before Election Day if he's nominated. He will be an epic disaster of biblical proportions. I would use that word, including Revelations. I think, you know, the man is so detested by so many people. There's a better chance that the College of Cardinals invites me to Rome to succeed Pope Francis than the American people will make Donald Trump the commander-in-chief.
Coming from a gentleman on the left, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and look for him, if you will. Here's the second soundbite. Ron, you get this one. Because Donald Trump is not the only one going after John Kasich. The Cruz campaign released an ad today accusing Governor Kasich of cronyism. Here's what it was.
Right before John Kasich was governor, he collected $611,000 from a Fortune 500 corporation. After Kasich became governor, that same company received $619,000 in state tax breaks.
45 seconds to you, Ron. Low blow?
A low blow. Look, I worked for John Kasich for 7.5 years on Capitol Hill as his legislative director. If it's one thing that John Kasich is, he's honest. And here's our sign of the apocalypse here. And I absolutely 100% agree with everything that Brent just said. John Kasich has the temperament. He is the adult in the room on the Republican side of the ledger. For Ted Cruz and Donald Trump to attack a two-term governor who was just reelected with, for goodness sakes, he got 26% of the African-American vote. I don't think those two guys could get that combined. Kasich's my guy, Kasich's my man, and Ted Cruz is super PAC. Well, let's just leave it at that. Let's wait for him to pass a bill or do something significant in the Senate before he wants to attack my former boss.
Ladies and gentlemen, please look at a hill near your house. You will see the four horsemen of the apocalypse coming over the ridge any moment now in what we've just seen happen here in the last couple of minutes, and it's worth every moment. Ron, Christie, Brent Budowsky, gentlemen, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Let's remind you that you're going to see us real soon. Tuesday, America Votes, our special Wisconsin primary coverage. Everything begins at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Yours truly and the team will join you at 10 o'clock for the full wrap-up of what's happening, but make sure you start joining us 6 o'clock Eastern. Get to the special at 8 o'clock. Stay with us all night right here on The Hardline and on Newsmax. Stick around. We're back right after this.